Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. Man, I was hoping I was going to get that one right because if I did not get that one right, this would have been a very long night. You know, I feel like I've been watching this show for a hot minute. Not as long as obviously a lot of other people, but I've been watching this show for a little bit. And to be honest, I know each show again goes at its own pace and it has its own energy and his own formula, and I am so still trying to get used to everything about this show. So, alright, this scene just didn't work for me. This is a scene after Devon and Nate kind of have this somewhat tense kind of conversation. And Amanda comes in. And Amanda's like, oh, Amani's mother or our mother, whatever, is in a coma. And for me, it just hit so flat. It hit so flat. I've never actually watched a show where somebody says this person's been hurt or injured or in a coma or whatever, and I don't feel something. Now, granted, I've been watching this as long as other people. I don't know if they actually show their mother. Maybe it would have actually had a bigger impact. But they talked about her and her health, her health issues and everything like that, but they didn't show her. So something about the way when she came in there, and it just maybe it was the way she delivered the line, but she was like, "Oh, she's in a coma," and then she does this really fake bad crying, and I'm just like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't, I don't feel anything. And that's literally how it was when Nate and Davon was sitting there trying to comfort her. Davon was sitting there be like, yo, listen, you can just go, you can come back when you're ready. And Nate was sitting there trying to give her some sort of, you know, I don't want to sit there and say semblance of hope, but, to sit there and basically be like, don't be all doom and gloom. You haven't even got there yet. There's a lot of times that these people come out of these comas and everything like that. Come to find out later on, he was kind of more or less, I don't want to sit there and say lying, but like, when Elena got there, he was like, yeah, I told her some words of advice and everything like that and told her everything was going to be all right, but, we both know the truth. But something about that whole scene just came off extremely flat. And I don't know if it was her acting, if it was the simple fact that I've never seen this mother before, so here's the thing, I can't even feel anything even with her acting. And I'm not sitting there saying her acting is bad or unusual, but something about when she was just doing that whole scene, it's just nothing worked for me. So anyway, she's going to be gone for who knows how long, along with Imani. Now Elena came in there afterwards, and Nate was like, "Yeah, he told her about everything that was going on, and was talking about Imani as far as being a good ally." And I'm like, bro, you just messed up right there. First of all, I don't even know. I haven't even been watching the show that long, seen this couple or anything like that. But when you basically you say that another woman has been an ally to you, that's a problem. Because the only ally the only other ally, besides your girl, is someone else. But you shouldn't be referring to her as, oh yeah, that's been my ally. No, bro. When he had a bad day, he wanted to sit there and talk to somebody, and he texted Amani. I was like, bro, what the hell are you doing? You lost your mind? Like, what are you, nuts? So, she was like, oh, sounds like, she's feeling the tension between you and Davon. I hope I'm saying his name right. Devon. Um, because Devon and Davon is actually, well, they're different. So, um, but yeah, then after that, it's like Nate tries to turn this on her and make her seem like the villain. Oh, well, she's going through a lot and, we should be sitting there trying to support them and not really come at them or whatever. And she just had this look like, how did I just walk into? Now, again, I'm kind of paraphrasing from Brock TV when he did his video. And it just seemed like Nate, is just not really trying to make this whole thing work. I could be wrong. There was a period where I just kind of stopped watching it for a little bit. But, I mean, it's just not a good look. It is really not a good look. Now let's talk about Nick and Sharon. You know, this scene is interesting because, first of all, he tells Sharon everything that happened. He's like, yeah, my dad tried to clean it up. This whole Ashland mess, I'm the one that really killed them, and my dad's men came and, cleaned it up and tried to make it, cover up for us or whatever. And why I understand why he did what he did, why he basically was like, listen, this may not look like a self defense situation. Seeing how on record the family has been known for disliking this guy. And now he shows up dead in their house. Trust me, I get how optics look. But, he told her everything. And he felt guilty again for, killing Ashlyn. He's probably going to feel like that for a while. So, part of me was like, here we go again. Nick's not there being all mopey and whining and just, But the thing that was interesting about this scene was just how rarely he screwed over Sharon. He compromised her. He made her complicit. When he was there saying, my dad really messed up, and she was like, yeah, he's the person who likes to take control of the situation. He's like, yeah, well, now I know the truth, and, now I'm complicit if I don't say anything. Oh, wait, you know the truth too. Now I just implicated you. Oh, damn it. Yeah, bro, you didn't think about that before you came over there? Like, this chick is literally sitting there minding her business. She's your friend, and now you put her in a compromised position to sit there and lie and things like that. Are you kidding me? So part of me was like, bro, I want to sit there and see what your moping ass actually done brung this whole thing. Now you got her caught up in your family drama. Just because I don't want to sit there and say you couldn't man up. Because let's be honest. The fact that he actually feels any sort of guilt shows you just how good of a man he is. I'm like, bro, like, could just went to your sister. I mean, she was already kind of in it, more or less. You didn't have to sit there and make a pit stop to Sharon. Don't you think that she's already going through enough? Now she's all like, I want to sit there and help you, and I want to be there for you. And I'm like, you should probably be thinking about being there for Noah and Mariah. Nick is a big boy. I think he can handle his whole thing with his whole family drama. You're not in that life anymore. So, oops, I guess you are now. Now there's scenes again, like I don't know what to make of it. You got Billy sitting there checking on Victoria, the Ice Queen, and Billy must have some sort of effect on this woman because she started off being very cold and standoffish. Oh, I can't believe you canceled your trip or whatever. I'm super busy. Just trying to make sure that things, trying to make it look like things aren't phasing her. Now, I call her the Ice Queen because I really feel like she's the Ice Queen, but giving her upbringing, giving her who her dad is, maybe in some ways that she wants to sit there and kind of emulate him, you know, be a person of strength. She's always not there going back and forth with Adam and stuff like that, and she's always not there trying to prove the better Newman, Daddy's favorite girl, or whatever, or favorite child. I feel like was probably a lot of pressure on her and a lot of stuff that she wanted to probably live up to. Was probably put her in this position of where she comes across as so icy to people, and it's because of her upbringing with her dad. So to some extent, as far as watching the show, and granted, I just based it off of Victor and the little bit of family dynamics that I see. Anyway, like I said, Billy must have had some sort of touch because eventually, she does starts to melt a little bit, and he does sit there and say, "Well, I talked to Nick, and he was very standoffish, but I'm glad that he listened or whatever, and he got there, and she appreciated the fact that Nick was there because he said something, and it ultimately wound up saving her life." So he leaves. I mean, after talking to Nick for a little bit, and Nick tells Victoria what Victor told him to cover up everything. And at first, Victoria's like, you know what? That's a good idea. You know, he wanted to sit there and protect us. He didn't know what was going on. And optics wise, having a dead body, in a house where there was already tension between him and the family, just doesn't look good. But then she came to realize that, yeah, you know what Nick is saying is right. I mean, to be honest, granted, yeah, optics look bad, but he didn't have anything to hide, you know. And if he would have had a good enough lawyer, he would have sat there and fought those charges. Now, because his dad wants to sit there and try to handle the situation, now, pretty much a lot of people are going to be screwed in the process. So that's going to be fun to watch. And now Victoria is going to be sitting there looking to try to get answers from Victor, or I have no idea. But I feel like he's going to give the same sort of standoffish, to some extent, to Victoria the same way he gave it to Nick. Oh, I'm in control. I handled it. I took care of it. I protect you guys, and his usual stick that I've seen so far. Talk about Chance for a minute. So Chance and Abby are hanging out, and I don't exactly remember how it came up, but it seemed like Abby was sitting there asking a lot of questions, like, "Yo, what's going on?" I thought it was just a simple, open and shut case. Like, what's is there more to it than what I'm hearing so far? And I'm like, Abby, you do realize that there are certain things that he can't sit there and tell you because it's his job. So I don't understand on what planet she feels that her asking these questions like, "Oh, what's going on? Is there more to it?" Yada yada yada. Like, oh, that's his job. Like, let him rock. I don't think he sits there and starts asking you questions about what you're gonna put on the menu and things of that nature. Like, let this dude rock. On top of that, he's a cop. Can't really share that stuff with you. And even when Kevin comes over, he's like, "So what's going on? Is it, I'm like, stop. Like, seriously, stop." So they go in the park. They do a bunch of theories and stuff like that. They talk about the security footage, and it's kind of grainy. They can't really see much. It's a lot of theories, and doesn't really go anywhere into the fact that they hit upon something as far as you know. I'm starting to think, I was like, they hit upon the fact that he was carried out. I'm not gonna lie, it honestly goes nowhere because at the end of it, they don't really have any proof. They got theories and circumstantial evidence. Oh, it's a car. It sort of looks like him, but it's kind of grainy. It might be some people in there. We found a cigarette butt or whatever. I'm just like, okay. But towards the end of the episode, Chance does go over there and pay, um, Nick and Victoria a visit. And Victoria's like, because they're sitting there talking about the whole situation as far as Victor and what he did. So when she goes to go to the door and open it, dude is right there. And she's like, how long have you been standing there? Well, not, you look like you're upset. What's going on? He wants to sit there, she wants to sit there and see what he knows. And I always find one of those things very funny because it's like playing a game of chicken or bluff, and depending on what you say could give him more information than he already knew. So it's going to be very interesting. I saw the previews because these shows. Well, actually, it's pretty much just it's just GH that actually does the daily previews. But in the previews, it looks like it's going to be interesting. It looks like Jack is meant to be trying to get Adam to work for his company, and I'm like, he's going to get a Newman to work for his company. Seems kind of interesting. Again, I don't even know the full dynamics. Now, there is a question I do got to ask before I get into the rest of this. Um, a description, it says Genoa City surrounded by three prominent families. Now, you got the Abbotts, you got the Newmans. Who's the third one? Like, who's the third prominent family? Now, the thing is, I don't know much about Chelsea. Chelsea comes in literally like 35, like, the episode is 37 minutes. This chick comes in 35 minutes. I'm just like, I almost forgot to write her in. And the only reason I really wrote her in, a couple of reasons. One, I like to be thorough, but two, after she finished catching up with Abby, and Billy comes in there, and Billy's sent to ask him, Abby about, what is, kind of just what kind of stuff is Chance investigating, where is he at with the investigation and stuff like that, and she's like, you gotta talk to him. Like, interesting, because it almost sounded like you didn't want to sit there and give something away. Imagine how he feels, you know, being that it's his job. But anyway, she goes, she puts their orders in or whatever. They're talking about the podcast and stuff. And, she talks about how fun it is and everything like that. And the look that Abby gave Chelsea, it was one of those, I'm just going to walk away. I don't know. I say that because before Ray's exit, it looked like Chelsea was, having a thing for Ray. And I'm like, you don't realize that Ray is a married man, right? I mean, granted, that doesn't sit there and stop anybody in soap operas as far as a wedding ring, a boyfriend, whatever. But the look on her face, like, you know. So, granted, I didn't watch the show that long, but even I picked up on that. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. At least all the pertinent information. Now, it's interesting because when I was sitting there watching this episode, and it was getting really late, and I started sitting there thinking about my schedule with this show, because, I didn't wind up doing one of the reviews, because I did a live or whatever, and I don't generally like to put out these videos really late because I put it out really late. A lot of people don't really watch it right away, and a lot of people don't get a chance to watch it because I put it out so late. Now, eventually, people do watch it, um, and I'm gonna stick with that. But I'm just wondering, you know, because on my days off, it's so much easier to actually do all four videos. You know, wake up early, have my breakfast, have my latte, and I'm good to go. Now, today I woke up at the literal ass crack of dawn. Okay, I actually wound up doing a video at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, 5 something in the morning because I was on my way to work and everything like that. Waking up at 5 something in the morning, it's a lot, And granted, I was able to sit there and do most of my reviews like right on cue and everything like that. But I don't know. Sometimes I always sit there and think about the quality that I want to sit there and put into these videos. Like even now, part of me is sitting there second guessing myself. Like, was this video, was it good? Did I ramble too much? Things of that nature. And also, I got like a bad review on one of my reviews, um, one of my Beyond Sailing reviews. So it's just something I always think about in the back of my mind, especially if I know I'm going to be like super tired. It's like, I want to sit there and put this out. But since I already started watching it, and my mind was already headed towards doing the review anyway, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's put it out there. Because I did I did have opinions, obviously, about the episode, and I didn't want to sit there and not put it out there into the world. Um, anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let your thoughts all in the comment section below, and I will see everyone in the next video.